Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us today for our latest pay-per-view with AEW, our April event, which will be the AEW Tag Team Spectacular. We're going all out for the 100 rated match, that mega triple threat tag team main event, alongside a major band appearing, a B-list celebrity, and 500,000 being spent on a special set, so 2.5 mil just on that alone. Attendance wise, we're looking to be just shy of about 65,000, so we are just hoping the industry gets a bit more popular, because we're popular, we just need the industry to be thriving, and then we can look to get more fans. What I'm going to probably do as well, so it wasn't until looking back that I realised this, so our show previously, event previously, AEW New Japan done 32,000, I was confused. I had put that to premium pricing to try that, so obviously with premium pricing, meaning money, but less in attendance. So what I might try and do is, for Fight for the Fallen, or Fighter Fest, which is still a pay-per-view, but more of a B-list, although we make big money on pay-per-view, we do technically with sales, so it wouldn't really affect it too much, but I'm going to make it free entry, I think, if we can, to see if we can maybe get 90,000, 80,000 in attendance, not paying, but obviously we'll cover that with the money we get from pay-per-view revenue. So I'm intrigued to see how that works out and if we can get those achievements. By the way, massive show ahead, all tag team matches apart from that main event being the triple threat tag. Let's showcase the wonderful world of All Elite Wrestling's tag team division. So we've managed to get just over 65,000, just the 24 people at the Heinz Field give us over that. And the pre-show matches saw the Motorcycle Machine Guns defeat the Butcher and the Blade in 10:23 with Alex Shelley pinning the Blade. This was a 56, so a not too bad opener on this occasion. We had women's tag team action as the Fashion Empires, Chelsea Green and Dr. Britt Baker, defeat Team Kick, Evie and Heidi Lovelace in 9:05 with Britt Baker submitting Heidi Lovelace. A 48 here, pretty respectable, happy with that. We had the Hybrid 2 and Helico and Jack Evans defeat Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela in 12:05 when Jack Evans pinned Joey Janela with a 6:30, a 52. Told you I'd give the Hybrid 2 a win eventually, so a good win for them. And because I'm still on the fence to turn them face or not, I think it was probably going to stay heels, but the Prophecy defeated the Recruitment Specialists in 9:50 when Jacob Fatu pinned Alex Reynolds with a Samoan drop. 59, two stellar performances there from Fatu and Pillman. So we started the show, it's a 95, so we don't get the 100, so there's a wee bit of pressure off the bat. It's just Kenny and Cody counting down the rivalry that's been, and whether or not they are going to see eye to eye tonight. Kenny says it looks like it is going to be 2 versus 1 versus 1 versus 2. He doesn't trust Cody, but he still wants to win championships. He wants to win all the gold in AEW, and of course the World Championship at Double or Nothing. But he says he's one of the main guys in AEW. Cody's Executive Vice President. Surely to God, he doesn't want to paint a negative image on the company by phoning in a main event. So a lot of pressure on the line. 95 here. Both guys prefer to be unscripted, so a bit disappointing Kenny was poor about improvising. But nonetheless, that hypes our main event. Let's do the show. Opening contest had decent reaction from the crowd in Subpar Wrestling, with the Dark Order getting the surprise victory over Undisputed Honor in 14-17 when Stu Grayson pinned Roderick Strong with a pump handle pile driver. This was rated as 60, some good performances there. Uro and Grayson, I think, have more been putting people over, but this is their chance to shine. We had to keep, if I just go to it, Roderick looking strong in the defeat, so even though it was a steal the show wild brawl kind of feel, going all out, there is obviously the negative points for keeping Roderick looking strong, but 60 is a good opener. Good start to the night for the Dark Order. We then had more tag team action, as the men involved roughly in our TNT Championship picture, and it was a superb matchup that saw Shinsuke Nakamura and Prince Devitt defeat Brian Cage and Hangman Adam Page in 20:53 when Nakamura pinned Page with a Kinshasa. At 85, Now, you can clearly see that we're trying to get Nakamura over. And Hangman is one of those guys that's very over and quite willing to put people over and not really losing much popularity in the process. So I still want Nakamura to be up there. Cage will continue to build up eventually, but I felt like good opportunity. The match goes over 20 minutes, so it can score a high score. But yeah, it's just a case of building this division up, because I feel like there's those guys at the top, and then there's like a big gap. Or there's Darby Allin, and then it's everybody else. So we'll get more people to that level, and hopefully Nakamura can join Devitt as he's getting close to that, and then we'll look at Samoa Joe, Brian Cage, and more to follow by 85. Very good still. Then another promo. It is the mixed tag team champions who are getting ready for action. Sir Brody Lee and the Great One 99 Anna Jay. Brody Lee says they're on the same page. The Dark Order has already won one match tonight. They're going to win their match, and then Priscilla, Kelly and Abaddon will later on. And he also says, look at the pre-show, look how bad Silver and Reynolds were, and tell me I wasn't wrong. Might seem to a lot of people that I'm a bad man and I'm ruthless, but I'm right. He also says that their opponents tonight, Will Ospreay and Bea Priestley, whilst are a couple, they don't see eye to eye. Because obviously Will babyface be heel, but of course it's a loosely enforced in AEW, so we're putting them together. So he's like, yeah, will they see eye to eye? I know that this protege of mine, Anna Jay, is firmly seeing the right picture. So 77 for the promo, and the match delivered a pretty good 75, a really good, considering the overness of Anna Jay and Bea Priestley is going to take a lot of time to get to the great level of Ospreay and Brody Lee. I can be absolutely delighted with that. Decent matchup, Brody Lee and Anna Jay pick up the win in 14:33 when Anna Jay pinned Bea Priestley, giving them the third defence of the Mixed Tag Team Championships. 75, 48 performance from Priestley, 93 from Ospreay, 53 from Anna Jay, and a 91 from Sir Brody Lee. It had the EU taking on War Machine, and the EU picked up the win when Miro got a pinfall victory for once with the Bullplex. This was thanks to Ric Flair's interference. Although worryingly, this is what I quite like about this new skin I'm using, which has been out for ages at the time of this going live, but if it's a serious injury, then it's going to take them out. It goes red, but it's just white if it's something they can work through or maybe do angles through. So anterior cruciate ligament would normally be bad, but a sprain might just be okay for Miro. But a 66 here is still pretty good considering the injury. We'll just need to see what that does to the former bashing Bulgarian. But Ric Flair proving to be a good hand for the EU. So next up, Matt Hardy's in the ring. He says he's confident that he's on the winning run and he's ready to prove himself tonight. And out come the Acclaimed that Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. They're just like, yo man, you're on your own. You're just an idiot, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to take us on 2-on-1 and just show you've completely lost your mind, then sure, you know, we'll beat you up. That's what they do. They obviously rap on Matt Hardy, talking about all his personas, and it's like you're meant to be big money, but you're still coming back for more. Is it a case of that money's dried up? So a 45, I'm terrible at rapping on the spot. I'm going to try and do it. Castler being great with his rhymes. So 45, what would this mean? As if it wasn't so blatantly obvious the way I'm going. As Matt Hardy confirms, he does have a tag partner, and it is the debuting Jeff Hardy. Jeff debuts the charismatic Enigma gimmick. It was an initial rating of great, and it gives us a 56. I know we keep signing people. Jeff get released from WWE, free agent. Matt wasn't doing anything. If you want a good tag division, you've got to have the Hardys in it. So the Hardys are back together. And this is, of course, where we turn Matt Hardy babyface. So he's also going to turn gimmicks. So he's went from Rich Schwab to Exotic Bizarre One. It's almost as if we're going to break him. The initial rating was very good, and this rating is likely to rise over time as the fans get used to the new gimmick. So it's a complete success, and the Hardy Boys, or the Hardys they'll need to be known as here, are together again. And this led to a terrible matchup that saw Matt and Jeff defeat the Acclaimed in 11:49 when Jeff Hardy pinned Max Caster with a Swanton Bomb. Jeff Hardy was head and shoulders above everyone else. He had an in-ring performance of 77. Oh wow, he must have been really over in WWE before they let him go, because obviously his stats have declined, his attributes, because of obviously age. But a bit disappointing though. A simple fibular fracture to me sounds like he's going to be out for a bit, so we may see a Max Caster solo run. But 58 there. Do both of them get physical decline? I know we shouldn't be pushing everybody that's old, but may as well use them. It's Matt and Jeff Hardy. They're going to be, hopefully, good workers that will benefit younger talents. Moving along with the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships in the line, and the team of Riho and Hikaru Shida defeat Abaddon and Priscilla Kelly in 14:56 when Hikaru Shida pinned Abaddon with the Majo no Ichigeki, meaning new Women's Tag Team Champions in the form of Riho and Hikaru Shida. So a 57, very happy with that. Hopefully now with that victory that Shida got the pinfall for, means she will get cool momentum away, and hopefully now just be neutral. Now we can get her into positive momentum, because obviously there's actually big plans for all four of them, honestly, down the line. But we've got such a strong women's division, potentially be really strong soon, so we need to try and get all these women up to as good a popularity as they can, because their in-ring stuff, I actually think the in-ring stuff's good. Like, it says 50 performance, but obviously a lot of that's reflected on her popularity this time, which is at roughly a 50 overness. So I feel like that will gain alongside our pop. And after the matchup, a wee celebration for the new champs. Riho and Shida draw a 54 segment rating. Moving along, we had that matchup between Saraya, Lana Austin and Leyla Hirsh and Shayna Baszler. Of course, the winner, if it was either Shayna or Saraya, will challenge Mercedes Varnado at Double or Nothing for the Women's Championship. And a terrible matchup saw Saraya and Lana Austin defeat Leyla Hirsh and Shayna Baszler in 13:56 when Saraya pinned Shayna with a nightlight. Lana was a weak link here, just a 32, because Layla's been getting big wins on AEW heels. 57 though is really good. The young female demographic were delighted with Lana Austin winning. But I mean, we're setting up Saraya versus Mercedes. That's going to be amazing at Double or Nothing. After this, Saraya goes to shake the hand of Baszler, but Baszler just refuses and walks off. Obviously she's raging, she's retiring shortly, and she's not going to get that Women's Championship opportunity. That drew a 68. And then Saraya bumps into Mercedes, and they have a little argument, but don't come to blows. But that is going to be mega. 73 segments already, and we haven't even got them started going together. The thing is, as well, you need to remember, I don't run storylines, I just run strict storylines off. So if we had all that on, the heat would probably, of the storyline, would probably make these ratings bigger. But I just feel like having strict storylines off gives me a lot more flexibility in building up to pay-per-views. Then had a matchup that I actually think, with that 82 score, could have been higher, because obviously less than 20 minutes, so restricted. But it served its purpose. About the great heat and good wrestling, the team of Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy defeated MJF and Wardlow in 17:46 when Jungle Boy pinned Wardlow. You're not going to have MJF taking any pinfall victories off of Jungle Boy. I think you can clearly see it's a kind of Jericho sees faith in Jungle Boy storyline, and Jungle Boy scored a big win on pay-per-view with Wardlow the man able to take the fall. So good win there for Jericho and Jungle Boy. It's got to be frustrating times for MJF ever since he had that social media storm. This all went down the pan. And after the matchup, a wee celebration angle for Jungle Boy, Jericho, and of course Luchasaurus at ringside. Gives us an 80. We then have a hype package for the matchup between the Inner Circle and the former Inner Circle. Of course, over the last few weeks there's been the confrontation, the arguments between Santana Ortiz alongside Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager. That all came to a head on Lightning and has resulted in a brawl and a 2v2 matchup this evening. So a 69 as we get ready for the split of the Inner Circle. And that matchup drew a 74. I was expecting a bit more from that. But a massive win for Proud and Powerful as they win in 20:58 with Santana pinning Hager. You're obviously going to keep the Spanish God as over as you can, so he is I would say protected in defeat, but not taking the losing fall. These two are going to be a mainstay of the tag division for as long as we can keep them. They are absolutely class. And Hager, I don't know where we go with Hager. I think it's just going to keep that bodyguard type role for Sammy at the moment. Leads us to our main event of the evening as Kenny Omega hypes what's coming up, basically. Talks about how he and Cody still haven't spoken, there isn't a game plan. His game plan is try and win the tag titles, show that he is the best bout machine, and at the same time, watch out for Cody's lackeys. You know, we haven't seen them for a few weeks, we haven't seen them tonight. Pete Dunne, AJ Styles, Ace Austin, but Cody Rhodes, he knows he can't trust them, but he'll see what he can do. So 83 there, see how the match does. I'm sure that's next. I'm scared, I'm nervous. It's a 90. I want to do that higher. And about that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. The Lucha Brothers defeat the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega in 28-31 when Ray Phoenix pinned Nick Jackson with a Meteora. This gives the Lucha Brothers the 7th defence of the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Look at the in-ring performances. 95, 91, 100, 100, 92, 92. Excellent chemistry for the Bucks, excellent chemistry for the Lucha Bros. The only negative there was Nick Jackson getting stale. Penalised for Cody's low morale. Poor gimmick. That could have been a factor as well, actually. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Although we are loosely enforced with our heel-face divide, we are obviously going to lose points by heel and a face teaming together. But I felt like the Bucks versus the Lucha Bros would have been great to main event this, and would have main evented this if Double or Nothing wasn't next. So I think you can have an idea where the tag picture's going. But I just felt like it was a good idea to add Cody and Kenny into this, and obviously you're missing Moxley, you're missing La Sombra, and a few other big names for this card, so I couldn't keep off Cody and Kenny as well. And we finished the show with Cody Rhodes and Kenny on a proper brawl to the back. Now, this only gets to 77. I felt like it's the end of the show, it's your two most over guys. Surely this brawl can take forever, but apparently because I made it take forever, as you can see, 6 minutes instead of normally when I would go 4 minutes, it got that interest in nothing happening, which is cool. I took a risk and I felt like the star power would carry it. It didn't. You learn. So highest matches in 95, highest promos in highest matches in 90, highest matches in 95. We've got the boosts. I think we're probably going to look at about 94 here. We won't get 100 unfortunately. 95. There we go. So we increased our popularity in 24 regions within the US, Canada and Mexico, where we broadcast on pay-per-view at the moment. And yeah, we've got shows like that happening. It shows now we know how our product works. We know how we can assign getting rated on our product successfully. And we know who benefits most in our product. aka just put the Lucha Bros in the main event. But I'm obviously still delighted with it. As I say, you can book whatever you want. When you do it to your best angle in your main event match, you can do whatever you want in that mid-card. I can use this full show to just build people up, and as long as that main event delivers. If it flops, we're absolutely screwed, but when it works, it works. So as always, no need to talk to the locker room. They were, I've never had to use it yet in this game, so unless we're like seriously in massive negative mental morale, then we'll just leave it. So what do we have? We have the show being a complete success, which is good to see. We also were up against AAA and GCW Bloodsport. ROH have offered a contract to Marty Scurll. Good, I'm hoping that is a written deal. Let me just double check that. A written exclusive deal. Handshake. Right, okay. Because basically we are just trying to get him to sign a contract with us so we can release him. He's over, but we've never used him. Not once. You see the Ring of Honor, New Japan, as I say, unless it comes out he's like fine, then we won't be touching him because it does not look like it'll ever be that way. Miro will be out of action for a few weeks, so it is an injury that will take him out, but just for a wee period of time. So it's up to Claudio and Austin Creed for Ric Flair, and Anthony Bowens is a few weeks as well as he looks to recover. We have a pay rise request for Thunder Rosa. More than happy to do that. We have the money. And Brian Pillman is a soft drug user. But the game will not allow us to send them to rehab because we don't have a written contract. So we've got him still working with MLW, and because I felt like we weren't going to use him a lot. That's fine. Final. And of course, you see we're still conducting negotiations to sign Charlotte Flair because she's 80 over. And if you need someone over in your women's division, you've got to take it. So yeah, hopefully get that one done. WWE have offered a contract to Nyla Rose. She's only 30 in this, although to be fair, that's a data error. Overness is 39. We obviously don't have her on a written deal, so to me, I am quite happy to let WWE take Nyla Rose, and so their women's division is effectively going to be ours, and ours is going to be theirs. Now theirs is ours, except Thunder Rosa. You can get that in the bin. We are not taking her. So WWE have offered her $10,000 on a 2-year deal. It's our talent, and we've got quite a good bit of money. So we'll go $14,000. We'll offer her $8,000, and she's 29. So I'm quite happy to give her a 5-year deal, which will take her up to the age of 34. We'll also give her a bonus of 20% per show. You can tell, like, the ones I really want to keep within our women's division. She's not particularly over at the moment, but if we do look at popularity, you'll see there has been slow but steady progress. In fact, truthfully, if it lets me click it, last month she was 28, she was 24 over in the Great Lakes. She's now 40. Massive gains. So I think that's because she had a win over Ali, probably. If it wasn't Ali, it was Ashley Lane. No, Nyla Rose, Abaddon, take on Tatum B. Priestley. And Big Swole was on NWA Crockett Cup. So yeah, she's not really getting massive victories. But we'll take it. Maybe it's just exposure on television. Cody Rhodes says Abaddon's charismatic. Kenny Omega says that Lana Austin is charismatic, which is good news for our women's division. 9,000 on drug tests. We know about Miro and Bones' injuries. Viewing figures was 2.7 million, as we had 5.56 people buy the pay-per-view. That's all taken care of. So at the moment we're in profit of 4.6 million, so we will lose a bit more money with miscellaneous and tax. You'd think we would be making a lot more money. Remember, we put 9 million and 9.5 million into media. We put show costs are up by 4.8 million because of whatever we put in there. So the main way to look at it, pay-per-view revenue is up, ticket sales is up for obvious reasons with that extra show. By putting the US to a bigger size, the US is up, as our broadcast revenue is more than doubled, so I guess we're going to be getting into that US market even more, because it's going to give us bigger TV ratings, massive broadcast revenue, and you can see with that, look at that, nearly double sponsorship within 2 months. Merchandise is up by 2, although that did take that to the next level, and we'll keep going. So we're going to invest our money into, let's just do it while you're here. Not really many people debuting. Finlay, that's about it. Now he's a road agent. So you can see that roster's down by about 20 people because of the New Japan stuff. Still massive, but we want to try and put a few people into the NWA and developmental eventually. So investments, upgrade. So as you can see, 18 million we have. And I'm going to leave it just now because I want to see, just in case we get taxed a lot. So we should have it in that, but you'll find out in the next episode. Sorry to leave that in a cliffhanger. I just had a last minute thought there that I'm like, better double check on that. But thanks for watching, hope you did enjoy it. It's now time to go to our version of basically SummerSlam, the next big event after, not quite the main one. Double or Nothing in 27 days, so we'll have a big build up to that. We already know that main event is going to be Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes for the AEW World Championship within a steel cage. So thank you very much for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, good night, see you later, bye bye.